Hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. Alright, this is the 90mm FREEWING GOSHAWK. And listen, hear that? Don't hear the other gyros. That's the nose wheel gyro engaged. Because it comes on instantly. It doesn't have to wait for the AS3X to come on. Alright, man, it's wind. Alright, I forego air brakes and use that channel for the nose wheel gyro instead. All right, right, left, up, down, right, left.
Motor is hot. Don't get burned.
Got a KM model afterburner in there. Beautiful plane. Absolutely one of the most beautiful planes I own. I think it used to be to me the best looking of my scale jets. And I'm afraid, GOSHAWK, close your ears, my new A10 is better looking, but this one reigns supreme in the coolness looking for a long time. So, all right, timer set for 4 minutes. We're going at high rates. Do not need flaps today. Shake this off, and let's go.
Up.
Oh yeah. Got a 6,000 HRB in there. Oh, that's beautiful. I'll go up. Flip.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
Nice slow roll there.
Gear is down.
Come by, make sure my gear is down. And it is. Decided not to land, obviously.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
Line up with the runway.
Braking. Cruise mode.
All right. Whew! I'm thinking maybe I do need to have flaps. Of course, that nose wheel driver don't do any good if she's hopping up off the gear. All right, we're all going to do flaps just because.
Take off flaps.
Just to see. Mainly for landing, because she really does carry some weight.
Flaps are up. Gear is up. Time remaining 1 minute. Gear is down. Landing flaps. braking. Cruise mode.
All
Flaps are
right.
up.
Turn against that wind.
Seconds.
Yeah, she just feels so locked in on that runway. Even with crazy wind. I'm going to drive her down kind of fast down the runway here. Trying to stay in that lane there.
Timer expired.
Yeah. Definitely, I can definitely tell the difference in how she feels with that nose wheel gyro going.
Motor is secured. Safe to approach.
All right, even though we didn't fly that full time, I'm 15 seconds over on a 4-minute timer. Honey, if you would come here, because she is kind of heavy and I don't want picking her up and the wind blowing her out of my hands. That's what I'm afraid of. And then you can go back and sit down to show the rates. Now, pay attention when you untake when you take that battery hatch off. Don't just come yanking it off. You've got a wire there that runs that heads-up display, the light for it. So but you've got plenty of excess wire. But you can see where I've got the 6000, basically 2 fingers in, widths in from that front bulkhead. Okay. Let me unplug this beautiful KM model afterburner. Get you a battery report. 42% left. So really, I could go up again, but no. We were a little, so really set your timer for 4 minutes and 15 seconds, fly the way you want. Maybe 4.5 minutes if you're really easy on the throttle. You know, but remember it's a jet, so you gotta maintain your speed. Now, in order to make use of a nose wheel gyro, you must have a physical open channel. It's not an electronic deal. It has to have its own separate channel. You have to identify your rudder servo, steering rudder, steering servo, and then run that into that open channel. So for this, I need an 8-channel receiver, and I've got thrust reverse because it is not a smart ESC on 1 channel, and then I've got the nose wheel gyro on that 8th channel. All right, let's go over our rates. We'll talk about flaps right off the bat. Can you see the flaps okay? All right. Flaps up are 100%. Takeoff flaps are 24%. And landing flaps are negative 20%.
Flaps are up.
With no mix needed and a 2-second deployment. Okay. The rates that I just flew in were my high rates are 90% on the ailerons with 30% expo. On the elevator, 85 with 30% expo. And the rudder at 110 with 40% expo. All right. The AS3X settings, because I have the 8-channel Spectrum receiver. The one-time gains, the gains for roll of 35, pitch 40, yaw 50. Heading, didn't do anything with heading. Priority, all at 100 on roll, pitch, and yaw. Stop lock, all at 50 on roll, pitch, and yaw, with a release rate at 55, 55, and 75 on roll, pitch, and yaw, and the gains at one time. On that release gain or release rate, I don't ever change that. I've never used it. The nose wheel gyro, the rate gain on it is 50%, and the heading window is 50%. So, and you can definitely, like I say, you can hear if you're ever wondering if your nose wheel gyro is working. When you first plug in the plane and before you bump the throttle up to engage the AS3X, that nose wheel, you can hear it working. So priority on the nose wheel is also at 180. Alrighty, well there you go. We've gone over rates, we've gone over AS3X, we've gone over how much is on the battery placement. Let's talk about CG. Okay, I like checking CG with the gear down. Okay, and that's because that's the way you're landing, and that's when your CG is the most critical. CG on this plane is 63 millimeters back from the leading edge root, which puts it, if you look there, you see that little black mark, it's right at the very edge of that wheel well. You'll see a little triangular hard plastic section. Put your finger, you can actually feel it. It's not written on the wing, but right there. And that puts her pretty much level. I'm having a hard time with this wind holding her, but pretty much level right there. All right. Well, there you go, folks. That is a 90mm GOSHAWK T-45 from FREEWING. And the only thing I've done with her as far as a mod is I've given her a clear coat of polyacrylic from Midwax, the water-based. And I try to do that at least once a year with my planes. Not all, I got so many planes, but at least once a year. And make sure you don't put too much in the hinges. Now this plane all has mechanical hinges, pinch and nylon reinforced hinges. So that's not really that big of a consideration. So far as that goes when they're mechanical hinges like that. So, well, in the pinch hinge you can get in there, but well, anyways, I'm rambling on. I had a good time. Thank you for watching. God bless y'all. And don't forget, faith, family, and friends, God is good, and that's the 90mm T-45 GOSHAWK. Bye-bye.